All right, now joining us, Joshua Trevino. He's a conservative. Josh, go for it, man. Rub it in. Go crazy.
Cenk, how are you?
Good.
Welcome to election night from here at Governor Rick Perry's victory party out in Austin, Texas.
Oh, that hurts even more.
That was Joshua Trevino. Josh, thanks for being with us.
All right. Well, look, we knew Rick Perry was going to win. So how elated are you? Is it even better than you expected or right about where you expected?
Look, it's right about where I expected. I didn't think we were going to take the Senate. Obviously, the news just came through that the Democrats had a good night in California, at least, which is entirely to be expected given the candidates that we put up against you all. I think that the task in front of the Republicans now is that they've got to earn this victory. It would be a mistake for the Republicans to think on national level that they're in control of the House of Representatives and most of the governorships because the American people have endorsed them. What happened tonight is that the Democrats got punished, and it remains to be seen whether the Republicans are worthy recipients of the largesse from that. And we'll see. I mean, I speak as a lifelong Republican. My party has a knack for pulling defeat out of victory, so I'm cautiously optimistic. But you know how politics are. 2 years and the world can change, as you well know tonight.
Yeah, well, that's for damn sure.
It's funny. Both sides think that their party has the knack from pulling defeat out from victory.
We seem to have some evidence tonight that we're right about that.
Yeah.
About the Democratic
we're a little
Party.
knackier than you are, Joshua.
Right. So, Joshua, let me ask you a couple of questions related to that. Then, which direction do you think the Republican Party should go, and what message do you think they got, whether it's that one or a different one?
Well, I can prescribe directions for the Republican Party all day, and we'll see whether or not they listen to me. I tend to think that if the Republicans govern in a fiscally conservative manner, which they didn't do under Bush, and of course the Democrats haven't done under Obama. If that happens, it'll be the first time it's really happened in any real sense. Probably about 12 to 15 years, ever since there was a split government under, Clinton and Gingrich. If that happens, then the Republicans are in for a long, long ride in power. If it doesn't, though, you're going to see the power flip in the United States a few more times before this is through. So we'll see. I don't think anything's a sure thing. We may look back on tonight and say it was the beginning of the end for Barack Obama, but we also may look back on this night and say it was the beginning of his reelection, depending on how Republicans handle this victory. So we'll see.
Joshua, but let me follow up on that. I mean, you say fiscal responsibility, but don't we already know the answer to that? The Republicans are nearly guaranteeing themselves that they're not going to be fiscally responsible because they're ignoring one half of the equation, revenue. They say they will, under no circumstances, raise taxes, and
Well,
I mean,
that's true if you accept the premise that you're proceeding from, which is that you got to raise the taxes. But
no. I'm saying I'm saying it's half the equation. So Joshua, for example, if you maintain the Bush tax cuts, you know how much it costs us. It costs us over $700 billion for the top 2% alone. So if you do that, it's really hard to be fiscally responsible, isn't it?
No, it's not, and it depends on how much political courage the Republicans are going to have. They are going to stand or fall based upon their willingness to make cuts that are, run the risk of being unpopular, if not politically fatal. And that's the only way that we, I won't disclaim responsibility here, that we can show ourselves to be responsible stewards of power. And
so are you with Dement? You say, and those guys, do you say that's it? I mean, $700 billion of cuts is a gigantic amount. So let's just lop off the Department of Education, EPA, whatever. They're gone. I mean, what are you going to do? You need huge changes.
Well, in that particular prescription you just uttered, count me fully in favor of it. Count me on Jim Dement's side in arguments like that.
Okay,
Absolutely.
no, I just want to, Okay, so that's clear. So there goes education, and it's not to say you don't want to do education. You just don't want to do the Department of Education, and you don't want to do the EPA. Now, I definitely disagree, and I think the American people might disagree, but that'll be interesting in 2012.
I thought there'd be common ground between us on that one, Cenk. I'm not surprised.
Right.
Are there any tax cuts that is there any repealing of enormous tax cuts that you would support? Any point where you would think, oh my God, we have to do this? We have to be more concerned about revenue rather than cuts?
I'm hoping I'm answering your question correctly. Unfortunately, I've got this massive amplified Rick Perry voice that's kind of walking across the field that I'm in. You're asking if there's any particular repeal of tax cuts that I would agree to. No, I don't think so. It's not. If there's the political courage, and of course that's the big if. If there's the political courage and the ability to make the cuts that need to be made, it shouldn't be necessary to raise taxes on any segment of Americans, rich and certainly not poor.
Well, we're not talking about raising taxes here, Joshua. Anything that you would cut of the massive tax
Well,
breaks that we're given.
no, I mean that's a semantic argument there, though. I mean, if you're
No, because the tax cuts exist. It's not really semantic, because the tax cuts exist already, and the idea, and they are scheduled to expire in some cases, and there is talk of rolling them back. I'm saying, without putting a new tax in, I'm not asking you to put a new tax in, are there any that you would get rid of, these tax cuts that went to in a disproportionate segment of our population? Are there any of those that you would consider rolling back, repealing?
I think it may be dealing with a conceptual double negative here. Are you asking me if I would consider not repealing any of the taxes that are due, or any of the tax cuts that are due to expire in 2011? Is that right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, no, I am in absolute favor of having every single one of them. Yeah, no. I don't think that the automatic.
What about?
Look, that's a political time bomb that was deliberately put in there, and to my mind, wrongly so. They should have written the legislation when they had the opportunity to make them permanent, but they didn't, and so of course we're having this argument now. No, I don't think they should let them expire. I think they should extend them indefinitely, make them permanent.
Would you,
as was intended?
Would you not support? All right.
Okay. All right.
You're gonna have to diagram this one for me.
All right, Joshua, I got a question on bipartisanship for you, because during the 2 years the Democrats were in charge, we were told by the media and the Republicans, and honestly the Democrats, that bipartisanship was enormously important, and the Democrats had to reach out to work with the Republicans. Now, we didn't get that, of course, back from the Republicans, but such is life. Now, so are we going to hear the same thing in the next 2 years when the Republicans are in charge of the House, at least? Is there anything that the Republicans will reach out in a bipartisanship effort to work with the Democrats on?
Well, look, I don't mean to be cruel on this, but I think you probably share my point of view. When has the call for bipartisanship failed to work in our favor?
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, honestly, let's being blunt, and that we're all political aficionados here. Bipartisanship and the call for it is a tactic. It's a tool. It's one that we're better at than you. Just how it is. So
then let me ask you this.
Can I just note there that was the most honest answer we might have ever gotten on the Young Turks?
So let me.
God bless you.
Let me follow that up then. Would you be
thank you much.
As a Republican, then, would you be disappointed if the Democrats took the same approach that you guys did? If the Democrats were like, no, enough, we're not reaching out because it's a divided country, and damn it, we know it. We're not going to pretend like it's not.
Look, you have to excuse me again. I'm getting this terrifically bad Nashville music now being blasted. If you could repeat that, would I be disappointed if the Republicans governed the same way the Democrats did?
No. Would you be disappointed if the Democrats took the same tactic on bipartisanship that you guys take? If finally Democrats stopped saying, "Oh no, we're reaching out. We want to recruit Susan Collins and Olympia Snow," and the Blue Dogs, if they were just like, "No, that's it. There are no areas to compromise on. We're not compromising either." Like, if you were unable to use that to your benefit, as you pointed out you have.
I think disappointment presumes prior expectations. I wouldn't be disappointed for two reasons. First of all, I don't expect we do what we do to get what we need to get, and if the Democrats play along, that's fine. If they don't, if they dig in their heels and it becomes a pure battle of ideas, well, again, frankly, that's something, and I think there's substantive things to it, but just for the sake of argument, that's something that we're also better at in framing the terms of the debate. Look, the modern Democratic Party, for whatever reason, and I'm quite sure that I don't agree with either of you on what this reason is, but nonetheless, the modern Democratic Party has done a terrible job of selling itself and conveying its principles and ideas to the American people. The one exception to that was the Barack Obama campaign, which apparently floated off into space on January 21st, 2009. But since then, the terms of the debate have not been in your favor. And so if the Democrats, to get back to your question, if the Democrats decided to do something like that, I think it's a fight we'd win. I do. I think it would redound to our favor in 2012.
don't think so, but I mean, I agree with you about the lack of conveying an idea. I couldn't agree more. I think what the three of us have been talking about all night is this notion to finally stop pretending like there's a compromise to be had, and you know, which is what you guys have done effectively, as you point out. And I think we'd be interested to see if, for the first time in this generation of politics, what it would be like if the Democrats fought and worked as hard to deliver a message as you guys do. Forget the policy. If just on the politics we behave more like you.
On a meta level, in the long term, it would probably be better for the country because it would make the politics more stark, it would make the choices more real, and it would make it more honest in a certain sense. I personally, I really don't think it would redound to your advantage, but maybe the Democrats do that, and we find out that deep in the heart of every red-blooded American is a bleeding heart liberal. And if that's the case, then God bless them, and there goes the country. But I don't think it would be a tactically wise move if I were a Democrat. But guess we'll see.
No, let me tell you something. I obviously disagree with how you think the country would eventually decide, right? But I think your analysis is excellent. I mean, I think that's right. The Democrats have not made their case. I mean, that's what we've been saying all night long. That's what we've been saying for 2 years. That's what we've been saying ever since we started the show, right? And you're right. The Republicans are on point. They make their case. And the Democrats usually, as you said earlier, reach out in a bipartisan manner and don't even know what their case is. I mean, they have unilateral disarmament. Republicans say tax cuts, tax cuts, tax cuts. And what do the Democrats say? I don't know, right? So
well, exactly.
Yeah,
let me ask you this, and seriously, not to interview the interviewer, but if not Barack Obama, who makes that case? Because I don't see anybody else on the backbench who's going to take up that banner with any more effectiveness.
No, I couldn't agree more. I don't think Obama makes his case.
Well, I think it's important for Obama to do it, and Obama, as the candidate, which he becomes tonight, will make that case, or will be the one to make that case. And as you say, you don't see anybody on the backbench, you don't see anybody but Obama to do that. Do you see anybody within your party to challenge him when there are going to be two messengers that are going to be bringing that to the American people rather than 535?
I actually think the Republican bench is for 2012, and it's a developing bench, and it ranges from awful to pretty good. But it obviously depends on who decides to run. But I think the Republican bench is pretty good.
Give me a couple of I'm curious of a couple of examples of who you see to be pretty good.
It depends on what the case is going to be and what the situation is going to be. I mean, if you want somebody who is going to argue straight policy, and I don't necessarily. By the way, let me just preface this by saying I don't necessarily support any of these people that I'm about to name. I'm just offering it as, on an analytic level. I think somebody like Mitch Daniels, Paul Ryan would be excellent to put up before the Democrats, the president, on a policy debate. From a telegenic standpoint, and this may sound absurd, but I think it's completely true, I think Mike Huckabee is the ideal man to debate Barack Obama on TV.
Please send him to us.
I don't think he'd be the strongest candidate, and frankly, I don't think the Republican Party at large would let him get more than one or two states down the road. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to have the best possible debate in the greatest contrast, I think that would be the guy to put up. And also, I think a dark horse, and obviously I'm here and imbibing the atmosphere of things Texan at the moment. I don't think the country is ready for another Texan to run for president, but if you wanted to go on pure record, Rick Perry versus Barack Obama would be an absolutely compelling presidential race.
Well, we weren't ready for the last one either, so it doesn't matter. You might as well run.
So be it. I mean, we'll see how that goes. I don't think Perry runs, but if he did, it would be that actually might end up being your most substantive race. And I think that aesthetics aside, it's a fight with you win.
So that's your bench. Who the hell are your starters?
The nomination, and this is just my pet theory, but I think the nomination comes down to Romney, Palin, and a third force that everybody who hates Romney and everybody who hates Palin coalesces behind. I think there's going to be that third force, whoever it ends up being, that's going to end up being the eventual nominee.
So we've got this. Let me follow up on that real quick, Joshua. We got this a fight that's already started between Palin and Rove, right? And they are representing the different factions. Palin is kind of the Tea Party. Rove is definitely the establishment. Is that trouble for the Republicans? How does that play out, and who wins that fight?
It's not trouble, simply because every time the debates are happening within your party, that's a good thing. That's a sign that the party is healthy. There's a difference between corrosive debates and constructive debates, and this is a constructive debate because what they're arguing over is how to win and who's gonna bring that win in. When you have arguments over who to blame, then that's when you know the party is on a downward slope and you need to shift course. How that plays out, I think you're already seeing some intimations of it. The Politico story that ran within the past 48 hours about the anti-Palin conspiracy. Terrible journalism, by the way, but it did touch on a real phenomenon, which is that people are casting him out for ways to stop Palin. Again, just to reiterate what I said, I think it plays out that there is a third force, not Palin and not Romney, who gets elevated, agreed upon, and coalesced behind. We'll see who that is.
Let me, and I'm harping on a point I made before, but I think I didn't say it well. But if my biggest fear and our biggest fear is that there's the appearance of competence and not nuttiness at the head of your party, that it's not somebody who goes around talking about, no, but I mean, don't talk about how evolution's debatable, and that doesn't dominate. You mentioned somebody. So if you're faced with someone like Mitch Daniels, or to the extent of what I know about Rob Portman, but there's a degree of thought about real issues as opposed to some of the social stuff that dominates the debate from your side. That's what I fear. That's when I feel like, oh wow, then there might actually be some policy initiatives that would make.
By the way, if I could interject there real
Sure.
quick, the present nutty state of the party just won the U.S. House of Representatives and most of the governorships.
Yeah, no, I understand. It can win, and it's a horrible election, and it could win, but I mean, it got trounced in 06 and 08, and
by the way, they didn't run on social issues.
Yeah, they didn't. And by the way, I mean, my complete confidence is that you'll drive off the cliff. Because,
by the way, Joshua, let me to what you just said to Ben. You said to us at the very beginning of this interview, you said that this was not about an adoration for the Republicans. This was about, being upset with what the Democrats haven't done. So it's a little different than the way you painted. So what Ben is saying, it's that party, this was not about social issues. That part of the party didn't really take the hit tonight.
So let me just get back then, finish that question.
Sure.
What do you fear that we would do, that Democrats would do, that makes you nervous? Or do you think, like, whether we stay weak or whether we toughen up, doesn't matter, you think you can win any debate? I got that. But what do you fear?
What do I fear from the Dems?
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't fear the Dems. I fear the Republicans, frankly. I think it is ours to lose the way things are going. I think that it is not in the bag for Barack Obama, no matter how things go for him between now and 2012. I think that if we lose in 12, which we may, I mean, I don't think it's a sure thing, but I think that the blame will be traceable back to us. I don't think there will be any situation that the Democrats or the president can contrive or walk into through design or circumstance that is going to intrinsically defeat us. I think our fate is in our hands at this point. Opposition has its benefits, as you well remember from the past 4 years. And it's up to us to make the most of it.
All right, Joshua.
I fear us.
All right, real quick, because we're running short on time here.
Sure.
One, I'm really curious, on the Rove-Palin divide, which side are you on?
I am not going to support Sarah Palin in the primaries. I'll just tell you that right now. I value what she does as a cheerleader for the party. I think she speaks for a lot of people. I think she kind of speaks to the gut instinctual conservatism that a lot of folks have. But obviously, you may recall in California, I was on the wrong side of the Palin endorsement when she went after the now loser Carly Fiorina and supported her over my guy. So, politics is that way. But I won't be supporting her in the primaries.
All right, and then finally, is at the end of this night, is Rush Limbaugh triumphant? Because he said, fight him all the way, be the party of no, punch him in the mouth, and now you guys have picked up a tremendous amount of seats.
Well, I think we answered that question with the election results. Yeah, he emerges stronger than he was before. But look, he was never in a weak spot to begin with, as far as the party was concerned.
And I asked that question because I want the audience, because one, it's because it's interesting and it might be true, and two, because I want the audience to think about this. No one dares challenge Rush Limbaugh on the right, and if they do for a brief second, then they come and apologize to him. But the powers in the Democratic Party, if you have someone like Rush Limbaugh, an equivalent of Rush Limbaugh, which we don't even have, but if we did, even the mild versions of that are treated with enormous disdain. they're called the professional left, and they're the worst, and how dare they even fight back against the Republicans. So, I mean, that might give you a sense of why one party wins when they make their case and the other party doesn't win, because they never make their case. In fact, they attack the people who do make their case. I don't know, Joshua, you might agree with that.
Well, not entirely. I mean, let me put it this way. If I was on your side, I'd be making the same argument. But I think tactics, which is what you're talking about, is only part of the problem for you all. I think there's, there are real issues at stake in politics. Politics is not a game. There are genuine differences in values and opinions and visions at stake. And, I happen to think that, on the net, politics being what they are, the American people remain a center-right nation. And I think that's really your basic problem.
Yeah, Joshua, I think we have amazing agreement on the tactics, just complete disagreement on the issues. But that's what makes for a good conversation. I think it's been great hearing from you tonight, and enjoy the win. All right.
Well, enjoy California remaining true blue, eh?
Yeah, well,
take care.
That's what we got to hang on to. All right, thank you, Joshua. We appreciate it.
Good night.